I'm back on the road exploring more of our magnificent nation.
The most incredible vista.
As ever, I'm joined by my trusty camper, named after one of my favourite people, Helen Mirren.
Oh, well done, Helen.
We're off to amazing spots.
I love it.
You're on the telly.
Hi, Mum.
Enjoying local pastimes.
And we're off.
Hunting out quirky customs.
Oh, what is going on?
You won.
Oh, Dad!
And meeting great people.
I love the way you think. It's quite a big flame, that. I'm just going to breathe it all in. It sounded like a bunch of Glaswegians approaching.
It's a feast for the eyes.
Absolutely spectacular. That has raised the heart rate.
Ears.
Can you hear me?
I can't hear you.
And all the senses.
That is beautiful.
We live in a land full of wonder. So come along on my grand day out.
Woohoo! Let's go!
This time, I'm diving back into all of the brilliant journeys me and Helen have had on boats and trains.
This is brilliant!
And setting sail on a whole new adventure to a maritime marvel.
This one's impressive, but the middle one here is vast.
There are some Calmans classics.
That's the old heart rate. Check the smartwatch.
As I remember some of our terrific trips across the country.
That's a little bit longer.
A little bit longer for the short hood.
Today, me and my four-wheeled companion are stopping off on the Firth of Clyde in Irvine, a harbour town that's steeped in shipping history. A fitting home for the Scottish Maritime Museum.
Right, Helen, I'm off for an explore. This seems like the right place to leave something as vintage as yourself.
Even the building itself is impressive and holds its own importance in the history books. Museum director David knows this place inside and out.
Hi, David.
Hi.
What a pleasure to meet you. This place, I have to admit, I didn't really know a lot about. It's amazing though, isn't it? Tell me a bit about it.
The building's amazing. It was shipped down in part from Glasgow, from the River Clyde.
Sorry, no, hold on. Just you said that in a very kind of casual way. This building wasn't originally here, it was in Glasgow?
No, it was in Glasgow. The red cast iron frames and a lot of the woodwork were brought down, frame by frame, on the backs of lorries, rebuilt on this site, then built up round about it.
This incredible glass-roofed Victorian lint house once stood in a shipyard on the Clyde. After falling into disrepair, it was salvaged and moved 30 miles to Irvine to be repurposed as this museum. At the time, it was thought to be the largest Grade A listed building to have been relocated in all of the UK.
Originally, parts of this building were an engine shed.
The engine shed, where large engines for large liners, probably 3-4 times the height of us, were being built and created and then put into the vessels on the Clyde and then shipped around the world.
From the early 1800s, the banks of the River Clyde were home to one of the greatest steam and iron shipbuilding centres in the world, only going into decline after the Second World War.
I grew up beside the Clyde, so I always get very kind of excited because I remember even when I was at university, I knew I was late for work if I heard the horns from the shipyard. Shipbuilding, ships, rivers, it's part of what it is if you live in this part of Scotland. And I think once you realise that the building itself is part of the history of shipbuilding, the fact that this is preserved makes this even more special. Do you mind if I go for a wee wander around?
No,
Is that okay?
Please do enjoy yourself.
Thanks very much indeed.
This fabulous building is chock-a-block with exhibits that give a glimpse into the nation's maritime past. One in particular has caught my eye.
Now, everyone knows I love a cruise ship. And this is a huge model of the Queen Elizabeth. Very famous ocean liner.
Built on the banks of the Clyde in a building not unlike the one I'm exploring, the Queen Elizabeth was launched in 1938, becoming the world's largest ocean liner.
It's beautiful. It's the details I love. So they've got all of the life rings there that would be thrown into the water, and the portholes are beautifully done.
With every turn, there are vessels that get my motor running.
Who doesn't want a silver speedboat, you know? This is actually an electric speedboat. It's quite James Bond-like, you know. I can imagine sitting in there, sunglasses on. We've been expecting you, Miss Calman. Don't know where they're from, but quite fancy this one, actually.
There's so much to see, and another seafaring surprise can't be missed.
Just in front of me here are 3 figureheads. This one's impressive, but the middle one here is vast. And you can only imagine the size of the ship that would have taken to have that on the front of it and what that would have looked like as it was sailing towards you.
These beautifully carved wooden decorations were intended to embody the spirit of the vessel and offer her crew protection on perilous ocean voyages.
The work and the artistry in this on its own is incredible. Never mind just appreciating how big these ships really were.
Marvelling at historic sailing vessels reminds me of a time I got up close and personal with the real thing in Cornwall at the stunning Charleston Harbour.
Hi there.
Oh, morning.
Hello,
Hi.
I'm Susan.
Oh, hi, Susan. How are you? I'm Ash.
Oh, lovely to meet you, Ash. This is incredible, this place, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not too shabby at all.
Ash runs a quayside bar and has the privilege of seeing this gorgeous port every day.
Tell me about this wonderful harbour we're standing in.
Well, it's a Georgian harbour, which is known for films that have been made here and also for having tall ships and shipwriting. They filmed Poldark down here
Yes.
because it's a beautiful location. They did Alice in Wonderland, the later version. The Eagle has landed, and Mansfield Park. And part of the filming involved a guy coming down and letting some doves go. And then off they flapped, and then he didn't take them away again. So the randy flappers that he let go and the and the pigeons kind of got friendly.
So that's why there are all these doves?
Yes, so but now it's their pubs, they're kind of dove, pigeon, hybrid. So, and there's tons. It's quite nice watching the white birds fly across the harbour. Not quite so good when you get a bit of a bird strike.
What I would really like to do is find out about these wonderful, beautiful tall ships that are here.
Yeah. You need to talk to Alec. He's the man over there. He can tell you anything. Blue top, handsome devil, that's the guy.
Blue top, handsome devil.
You got it.
It's almost like Ash, you're saying this entire harbour is full of handsome devils.
It truly is.
Well, maybe. But I think the biggest stars here are the magnificent ships. They truly do transport you to another time.
I was totally looking for a handsome man on top of a ship.
Yeah, that could be me.
That's you. Do you mind coming down? We'll have a chat. I'm getting vertigo just looking at you.
Alex is the first mate of Annie, a sleek 90-foot topsail schooner.
These are incredible ships. What were they used for?
This one was a fishing vessel originally in Denmark. She was built in 1930. People like these things, so they convert them. Now we do charters and stuff.
I've promised myself, just in life in general, I'll do things that I would never think I could do.
Yeah.
Is there anything that I could do up there?
Yeah, well, we need to put a block back up.
The block will be used for a pulley to raise the sails. Unfortunately for me, it's more than 30 feet up the mast.
OK, 3 points of contact at all times. Just don't think about anything. OK, OK. Oh, my goodness me. OK.
I'm getting there, but I dare say Alex's regular crew are a touch faster.
You're doing well.
Oh. I'll be up in a minute, Alex,
Yeah, no
OK? Oh. Right, now this is getting a little bit hairy.
That's good, the views are worth it.
Alex isn't wrong. The harbour really is a sight to behold.
This is absolutely stunning up here.
There's probably no need to go any further.
What are you doing up there?
I'm just going to reattach a block. Are you going to come and have a look? Or
And that's the blocks there, isn't it?
Yeah, so that's one of the blocks. There just needs to be 2 more here.
OK.
I was just going to tie one on.
OK, you do that and I'll watch and press.
Yeah? OK.
I can't make it further up, Alex.
No worries.
I'm really sorry.
Knowing my luck, I'll get hit by a lusty pov.
I just got a text from my mum asking if I'm having a nice time. Yes, Mum! Stop texting me.
There's no way I'm letting go to reply. Anyway, I doubt she'd believe where I am or what I can see. Coming up, I get blown away at the wonderful Maritime Museum.
It's quite a big flame, that. It's quite a big flame.
And remember living a dream.
Like that?
That'll be
Is that
enough.
too much?
That'll be absolutely fine.
I love travelling around exploring Britain's incredible journeys by rail and water.
You can feel the wind, my goodness.
I'm recalling some of the amazing grand days out I've had with my charismatic camper van, Helen.
Oh, she skidded a bit there, did our Helen. She's a classy lady. She doesn't like a cattle grid.
And embarking on a new excursion to the Scottish Maritime Museum in the coastal town of Irvine, which I've heard isn't only home to wonderful marine heritage. An intricate and mesmerising skill on display here today is scientific glassblowing, which nowadays is considered an endangered craft. One of the last people still practising in the UK is Japanese-born Ayako, and her creations are ship-shape.
I'm really curious to discover from you how you got involved in glass ships and glass bottles, because it's something I've never seen before.
After I finished my art glass course at the University of Sunderland, I started working with Sunderland local glassblowers. They used to make laboratory apparatus.
So what you would see in a chemistry class, so test tubes and things like that.
When the heavy industry started to decline around 1970s, many scientific glassblowers started doing ornamental stuff, and especially ships and bottles made huge success. There was a decade they made only glass ships and bottles.
Wow.
Nothing else. So I thought that's a big part of the history of glassmaking.
Yeah.
Not many people knew about
No,
it.
I mean, I've never seen them before. They're amazing.
It's time for Ayako to show me how it's done.
I'm frightened of this. Is that your burner?
This is really classic style torch because it's old. These valves are a bit temperamental.
Temperamental and blowtorch aren't words that fill me with confidence, but I'm sure I'm in good hands with Ayako, who's trusting me to help weld one of her beautiful ships in place inside its bottle. Wish me luck.
Should I put the safety gear on?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not quite yet. So
I'm so excited by safety gear. That's the problem. I'm such a child. Can I put on the safety glasses? Oh, these are amazing. Oh, yes. Yeah, and gloves. Right, okay.
Now the 2,800-degree torch can be lit.
Oh, right, there we are. That's that. I was never allowed to do the Bunsen burner at school.
Ayako is heating the bottle, and when it softens, it'll be up to me to fuse it to the ship.
I'm so tense.
The moment of truth.
Uh-huh. Okay, I'm here. I'm here. I'm here.
Yeah,
Like that.
that went very well.
Did
Thank
that
you.
go well?
Yeah, you can put that tool down.
To be fair, I think Ayako deserves a share of the credit.
It's perfect.
So the next job is to seal the bottom. I needed to make the flame bigger, so
Okay, bigger than that.
yeah, it will be
Quite a big
noisy.
flame, that.
very
It's quite a big
noisy.
flame.
And the bottle being sealed is quite a sight to behold.
That has been one of the most remarkable and beautiful things I have ever seen in my life. Just watching you do that has brought me such joy. Thank you so much.
Grand days out are full of new and exciting experiences, and on one trip to Shropshire, I visited the vintage train heaven that is Cambrian Heritage Railways, where I got to take a biggie off my bucket list: driving a real train.
Yes, please.
I've seasoned driver Phil alongside me to make sure I don't step out of line.
And just like driving a car, just do a blind spot check, make sure there's nobody running up the platform after us.
There's nobody running up the side.
Bring the throttle just past the off. There we go, and then take the loco brake off. Bring that all the way towards you. And away we go.
This is a moment I've waited for my whole life.
Oh, I've always wanted to drive a train.
You want to bring the throttle a little bit more towards you.
This one here?
That one there, yeah. And we'll go a little bit quicker.
Like that?
That'll be enough.
Too much?
That'll be absolutely fine.
Only 49 of these Class 73 locomotives were built. They pulled both passenger and freight trains from the 1960s onwards.
Oh, this is magical, Phil. This is magical.
I'm really grateful that Cambrian Heritage Railways have preserved this one. But it's a whole lot of train to be in charge of.
Just to warn you now, in front of you there's a little button that says AWS reset.
Uh-huh.
Press it now. There we go.
Oh.
And basically that would be, if I was driving this alone and I had any issues and I couldn't stop the train, it would come to a stop.
Okay. I mean, that was... That's the old heart rate. Check the smartwatch. Thought something was going wrong there.
But my heart was already thumping, as everything about train driving is hugely exciting.
We'll bring it to a stop. So if you bring your throttle to the off position.
This one?
There we go. And then the brake, just start to bring that on very slowly. And then you'll feel the train starting to slow.
We've not travelled very far, but this has been a journey of a lifetime.
Sorry. That's one of those ones where you go, what's the driver doing, for goodness sakes? My tea's gone all over me.
That was absolutely brilliant. No matter how much fun I have going solo, I'm always glad to get back to Helen. Of course, it was love at first sight. She never gets jealous, even when I flirt with other transportation.
I'm just going to run off and have a... Yeah, okay. Yeah. Okay, yes, a few more facilities than Helen has. For example, chairs, windows that open. Toilets?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Though she does like a little dalliance herself.
Helen, how could you?
She's always up for a laugh.
Oh, for goodness sakes, Helen. When we retire, I'm turning you into a disco bus. You know that. None of this knitting malarkey. Gah.
And she's by my side, come rain or shine.
I've got a flask of lovely hot tea. I've got some Chucky Bickies and a lovely crescent of crisps. So I think I'm going to be grand.
After all these years, Helen's still the best. Remembering the great times with my four-wheeled friend has me thinking back to a visit to Devon when we raced the nearly 100-year-old Babbacombe Cliff Railway to the top.
It's going to be a challenge, Helen, but you're up for it.
It takes around 2 minutes for the carriage to get back to base.
See you later on. See ya.
That's how long we've got to make it up the winding cliff road. Abiding by the speed limit at all times, of course.
Oh, no. Oh, okay.
Not that Helen likes to go that fast anyway.
Oh, the cliff railway's ahead of me. It's ahead of me.
Or maybe it's me who prefers a more genteel type of racing.
Thank you. We're doing a stately glide up a cliff road. Okay. Oh, dear.
Has it been 2 minutes already?
Now, Helen, I want you to know that I don't mind that we didn't succeed. I love you for who you are.
Let's face it, the result was never really in doubt.
Tell you something, our brakes work better than you would think.
I like to make sure Helen's always well maintained. Coming up, it's miniature anchors away as I take the helm with some models.
This is just an absolute delight.
And remember being excited by the real thing.
Okay, I'm gonna pull back now.
This time I'm deep diving into the Scottish Maritime Museum on Scotland's west coast.
Oh, right, there we are. I was never allowed to do the Bunsen burner at school.
And remembering some brilliant grandies out on boats and trains.
I just got a text from my mum asking if I'm having a nice time.
One such visit took me to Portsmouth, home to almost 2/3 of the Royal Navy's surface ships, and one vessel I'm particularly fascinated by.
For a history buff like me, this is so exciting. Behind me is HMS Victory, which is one of the most famous ships in the world, I think, and the oldest Navy vessel still in commission. I cannot wait to get on board.
HMS Victory was Nelson's flagship in the famous Battle of Trafalgar. Launched in 1765, she's still here over 250 years on. A bit like my Helen, she just keeps going.
Hello, Andrew.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Victory is currently undergoing a £35 million renovation project to keep her history alive, something Andrew, head of historic ships, knows all about.
It is a total pleasure to meet you. HMS Victory, obviously, has such a pivotal part to play in an incredible moment in history. Nelson leads the charge to try and defeat Napoleon.
Absolutely. So we've got Admiral Nelson commanding the British fleet, and it's his job really to repel this threat of French and Spanish invasion.
Battles at sea were traditionally fought with boats lining up alongside each other and firing, sometimes until they ran out of ammunition. But Nelson, renowned for his aggressive tactics, had other ideas.
He's going to sail directly into them, creating a barroom brawl where everything boils down to how heavy the punches you can throw.
So Nelson decides, hang on a second, how about we just go at them?
Yeah, and that was really Nelson's hallmark. Just get at them and fight.
I like his style. It was a risky move, but it paid off. In spite of their superior numbers, the French and Spanish were defeated, shattering Napoleon's plans to invade England. And it was in his day cabin where all this was planned.
Quite something, isn't it?
It's rather nice.
Wow. It's a fascinating time in history for me. You've got Napoleon, you've got Nelson, who still live on to this day. I'll be really honest with you, Andrew. I've been told for a number of years I have a Napoleon complex. I mean, that's a phrase that lives on, isn't it?
So much of the country is defined, the UK is still defined by what was happening 200 years ago.
What was he like as a person?
A hugely charismatic but deeply flawed individual. If he was around today, he'd be one of those people on the tabloid, the front cover, for good or bad, day in, day out. He'll always write home his own accounts of battles to friends that he knows are incredibly indiscreet and are going to pass it to the press.
Oh, I love it.
So the newspapers will write up his spin.
I love that, because we've all got a friend that we know that if we tell them, everyone's going to find out about it. Yeah. I met Gillian Anderson the other day. Did you? Excuse me, Gillian Anderson, that's amazing.
Sadly, Nelson was killed during the Battle of Trafalgar in 1805. But even in death, his story was tabloid-worthy. Not wanting to be buried at sea, his body was pickled in brandy to be taken home. It's said that his loss was devastating to his adoring crew.
Obviously now we're below deck. How many crew would there have been on a ship of this size?
So for Victory at Trafalgar, there's 821 men on board. It's a lot.
It's a lot. Were they fed quite well?
To fight a battle, you need good, healthy, strong individuals.
An army marches on its stomach.
Absolutely. So Victory can carry up to 54 live bullocks on the upper deck. We're carrying meat on the hoof, and they are slaughtered as and when they are required.
Is that where that comes from? On the hoof?
Yeah.
These are the things I'll remember forever.
I get them a lot.
They're carrying live cattle.
They carry live cattle, lots of beer, small beer, and each man will get about a gallon
Is that where
of
that
beer
comes from?
today.
Small beer?
Small beer is
Andrew, you're blowing my mind. You're blowing my mind. It's just small beer.
Small beer was a lower alcohol version of the real thing, but the crew got a full gallon of it a day. And if that wasn't available, they were given a pint of wine or a half pint of rum. I mean, it's a wonder they could get out of bed in the morning, let alone win one of the most important battles of all time.
It's been absolutely fascinating. I always think history comes to life when you visit a place. This is a bit of living history, and it's so important for that reason.
"500 miles north at the Scottish Maritime Museum, a model of the Victory is being built in the workshop. So once complete, it can go on display. Volunteer Keith has taken on the challenge.
It's lovely to meet you here, Keith. It's a wonderful workshop because down there, there's a couple of lads working on quite a bigger boat. And then we've got this incredible thing here.
What happened when I retired, my wife volunteered that I should volunteer for the Maritime Museum.
So your wife volunteered that you should volunteer?
She did, and it was a great decision. I really wanted to build the big boats, but they said they had this boat. It was a challenge, and it was called the Victory.
Do they know where it came from at all?
Someone donated a box of bits and said, there you are, museum, it's all yours. And that was a great challenge because up to then, I'd never built a model of this complexity before.
So you don't just get a bit of kit, you've got to actually make it into the dimensions of it.
Yeah. All the bits there are the bits that I've made or bits from the kit. The masts are made from straight dowels, but they've got to be tapered. And the dimensions are on the drawings.
You wanted to work on the bigger boats. Are you happier now on the smaller boats?
I am.
Yeah?
I've solved my yearning to build a big boat.
How long has it taken you to get this far?
7 years. I come here to the museum 1 day a week. I come in, sit down with a cup of tea, put the radio on and get on with it.
Do you know how long it took to build the original Victory?
Just under 7 years
Right.
to build the real Victory. But they had over 200 people to do it.
And they weren't having a cup of tea and listening to the radio, Keith,
No, they
were
weren't.
they? And how close are you to finishing it?
Probably about a year, 18 months, because the rigging is quite complex.
Looking at all of the cannons, it really brings home, in that battle that they were fighting, the noise, the force. Because look at that, facing another ship, firing at another ship. I think it really helps you understand how they worked in terms of a vehicle of war. That's what I think a model like this really helps.
Yes,
Do you know what I mean?
yeah, absolutely. You're right.
Thank you so much for chatting to me, Keith.
My pleasure.
It's really beautiful.
Thank you for that.
And just as impressive, I have to say, as the real thing.
Is it? Oh,
Genuinely.
that's good. I must go down and
You
see
could put a model of me and it'd be actual size on it.
Well, I might...
Just in the middle of it.
I might do that.
Absolutely. Just for no reason at all. Just a small Scottish person just standing on the Victory. It's beautiful, though. Thank you,
Right.
Keith. Thank you.
My pleasure.
And outside, the modelling fun continues.
There's someone just over here with some model boats. So I'm going to see what's going on. Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
Hi, fine, thanks.
I'm Susan. What's your name?
Brian.
Brian.
And these don't look like just any model boats either. It turns out Brian's inspiration for these immaculate little vessels starts with examining the real-life ones.
Can you tell me about these boats? What about this one here?
This is a cruise ship, converted Clyde puffer. It cruises around the west coast of Scotland.
And off it goes.
Takes 12 passengers at a time. The research for building that one was a week's holiday on board.
It's beautiful, Brian. So you built it from going on it and measuring it and then building it?
Yeah, the Corolla down the bottom. All I did was climb all over the real thing.
So that's it there?
That's it there.
And you've built a model of it over there?
Yeah.
Do you have an association with the museum?
I've been a volunteer at the museum 20-odd years. It makes a change from the job that I had all my life.
What did you do?
I was an aircraft engineer.
You're an aircraft engineer?
I just thought, well, 2 dimensions is better than 3 dimensions, so...
I'm not surprised these little boats are so expertly made. And I can't resist having a go with one.
Left, right.
Right.
And remember, it's the boat's left and right. So when it's coming towards you,
right. Okay.
it's opposite if
Yep.
it's coming towards you.
Yep. Here we go. What an absolute pleasure.
If you can manage that one, I'll
can.
let you have a bash
I'll
on
play
that
the
one. It's a
PlayStation.
bit faster.
There's something so intensely enjoyable about the simple pleasure of a model boat. I can't tell you how much I enjoy model boats. They are just so wonderful, and how amazing it is to be driving that model boat, and the real one's over there.
And I think I've impressed Brian.
Coming alongside, coming alongside.
Throw this in the water and you can do a bit of fast work.
A fast one. Here we go. Well, that's a cracker, Brian. That's a crack. Look at this one. Turns on a pin.
That's made out of bits of aeroplane.
Is it?
It's all 16th plywood, which was scrapped from aircraft when they were changing the interior panels.
That's amazing, Brian. This is wonderful. Sun is shining. The model boats are racing. It's beautiful. Thank you so much, Brian. This is just an absolute delight. I don't think I'd go that fast backwards in real life.
But sometimes real life doesn't have to get in the way. Going full throttle with those beautiful models takes me back to a trip near Glencoe, when I was lucky enough to get behind the wheel of one of the speedy, full-sized boats.
Hiya.
Hi, Susan. How you doing? I'm Ryan.
Ryan,
Yes.
it's a pleasure to meet you.
Yes, you too. How you doing?
I'm good, thank you.
Good.
I'm here for a powerboat lesson, which sounds amazing.
Sure.
You're the fella, aren't you?
I sure am.
I've been a passenger in a powerboat before, but this will be the first time I get to drive one.
Okay, this looks like is this a good day for it?
This is a phenomenal day for being driving a
There's
powerboat.
not a wave out there at all. And where are we going to be heading? That way?
We're going to be heading out this way into Loch Linney.
I'll follow you.
Well, I'll be driving, so let's hope that's what happens.
Okay, Ryan, explain to me how to drive this powerboat.
Right, so the engine's on.
Yep.
And now what we're going to do is start making the boat move.
Okay.
The further we push the throttle, the more revs applied to the engines, the faster the boat will go.
Right. You're going to be right beside me, though, Ryan.
I'm going to be right beside you, making sure you stay safe.
What we're going to do is we're just going to go for it.
What can I say? I'm a keen student.
Now, in terms of standing and sitting, that's up to you. You can stand, you can sit, wherever you feel.
I mean, it's almost the same thing for me, Ryan. Whether I'm standing or sitting, it's exactly the same. Right? Okay, so, shall we?
Excellent. And to go a bit faster, just gradually start putting a little bit of speed on. A little bit more. Good.
This is me putting the power into powerboating.
This is brilliant!
For the moment, you did about 8 miles an hour.
8 miles an hour?
8 miles an hour.
I've obviously been driving Helen for too long. Time to give it some welly.
Good. Right, we'll gradually keep putting a bit more spit power on then. Keep gradually going. Keep gradually going. Keep gradually going. There we go. The boat's going to start rising and going faster.
This is more like it.
Good, I'll put a little bit more power on. More.
Oh my God!
You can go faster if you'd like. Keep going, keep going. Good. How's that?
Great!
Fantastic.
Oh, God! Woo!
I can safely say this is a first for me.
So that's about 26 knots we're doing, which is about 30 miles an hour.
Oh, my goodness.
There you are.
It's great fun.
It is good fun.
Oh,
With my confidence growing, I fancy showing off some moves.
my God!
This is my version of what I think the youngsters call a donut.
Is that okay? Straighten up. Okay. Oh, no. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Nice and smooth. Oh, jeez. Okay. I'm going to pull back now. That was very exciting.
Good, isn't it?
That was pretty incredible doing donuts in the loch. It's one of the most thrilling things I've ever done in my entire life. I'm usually quite frightened of these things, but that was brilliant. So thank you very much, Ryan.
No problem.
I'm buying myself one of these secondhand because I am now an absolute powerboat aficionado. Shall we, Ryan?
We shall head off.
Let's do it.
Okay.
I'm sure Ryan's family will want him back eventually, but in the meantime, if anyone needs me, I'll be out on the loch. Helen and I have had so many thrilling journeys across the country, and they often bring out my dramatic side. Whether that's for the 60s sci-fi series The Prisoner,
That was close. I think I got away with it though. Whew.
getting locked up like Prisoner Cell Block H,
3, 2, 1.
or becoming a calendar girl with Trisha, the inspiration for the real Dame Helen's character in the feel-good film. And train stations in particular are perfect for my own modern-day tribute to the timeless classic, Reef Encounter.
Stop! Love should be lived in the here and now. Love is for the two of you to live in the moment. Love is precious.
But of course, some love cannot be.
No, I can't. I can't. I must leave you. It'll never work. I love you.
There's no better time to get carried away than on a grand day out. Coming up, I remember having the time of my life off the south coast.
Ha ha! I am the god of wind.
This is one of the most sociable things I've ever had the pleasure of being part of.
I'm looking back at some of the amazing adventures I've had by train and boat. And on one grand day out in Devon, the water off Kingswear was just too stunning to stay on land. So I met up with the Royal Dart Yacht Club to see if they'd show me the ropes.
So I'm just getting on the boat, yes? Can I hold this?
There's a big race happening today, and Alison Banford and her team are organising it.
So we're heading out on the committee boat. I always like an upgrade.
They belong to Ladies Afloat, a group set up over 20 years ago to encourage more women to sail.
It's lovely.
But I'm not here just to admire the view, because I've been enlisted to help. I hope they know what they're letting themselves in for.
I've been handed this flag, which it's an important job apparently.
The reason you're doing that is to work out the direction of the wind so that we can set the start line for the actual race course.
Do people get angry if I don't do it right and if we don't get the wind right?
I don't think you can be responsible for the wind direction.
Ha ha ha! I am the god of wind! I am the god of wind!
But even gods need a little help every now and then.
I am the god of wind. It is north. West.
And please, no jokes about wind.
This, as you can see, are all the boats coming out of the harbour just now, approaching to circle us like sharks. It's very exciting. It's also a bit more wobbly than I'm used to. Don't adjust your sets. I'm trying out my core is working very hard just now, so...
I hope I find my sea legs soon, because I've been given the honour of starting the race with a honk of the horn. So I better get my technique right.
Long hoot, now.
Practice makes perfect.
Short hoot, now. That, a little bit longer.
A little bit longer for the short hoot.
Or maybe not.
It's really easy.
Okay, can I
just practicing?
We're just practicing. We're just practicing.
They're confused. I'm confused. This race organising malarkey is very complicated.
It's the lads from the Navy.
But everyone is so friendly.
For something that happens on boats in the middle of the sea, this is one of the most sociable things I've ever had the pleasure of being part of.
We are now on station as your race officer
with a special guest on board.
Hello, everyone! They're such a welcoming bunch that it's actually quite emotional. Hello! Thank you, Free Spirit! It's making me cry. I don't know any of these people. This is the nicest thing. Oh my goodness. Hiya! But I need to compose myself.
10 seconds.
Because it's time.
Oh, it's exciting. It's very exciting.
To start the race.
Now! Good, thank you. Brilliant, well done. Well done.
What a relief.
Look at them go. The boat's going to come past us and they're going to go round that yellow buoy there.
The yachts are timed as they circle a course marked out by boys.
So they're going to come past us at 1908 and 47 seconds.
I'm told it will take around an hour for the fastest boats to finish the race.
That was so exciting because they came just shooting past us.
All I can do now is sit back and admire the amazing skill on view. And try not to get into any trouble.
Well done, assassin!
Shh, they're not there yet. Nearly. 1929. Now, 41 seconds.
I'm sorry, I said well done too early. Which means I'll never be asked back on the committee boat. Which is a shame because I've very much enjoyed my time on the committee boat.
What a hoot. I think I'm now officially a lady afloat. And the day is drawing to a close back at the Maritime Museum as well. Helen's clearly been in a mischievous mood. Oh! Have you moved yourself closer to that ship, Helen, you cheeky minx? You're not old enough to be in a museum yet. Let's get on the road. Hopefully we have lots more adventures together ahead. Here's to our next grand day out.